Okay, this is a video talking about there's this quote unquote scandal, but one isn't there, in professional wrestling right now regarding Rebecca Sky, um, Sunny, I don't remember how Shannon Moore enters into this, and Sid Justice, Sid Vicious, whatever you want to call him. The thing is that Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid, appeared on Monday Night Raw and defeated Heath Slater, which I guess is going to be the reverse Randy Orton. And Randy Orton was the legend killer, and Heath Slater will be the legend jobber to the legends. He was Vader last week, now he was Vicious. How I wouldn't be surprised if Sunny comes back if he jobs to her too. But somebody's got to do it. And he seems to have, at least as much fun with it as he can. But now the thing is, Rebecca Sky came on and she does have a legitimate gripe. She said, it's kind of odd that WWE would reward somebody who has very openly shafted the fans in several promotions, not showing up, offering excuses, whatever. And now all of a sudden he's getting a big payday from WWE. And I bet it will probably be like Vader and we'll never see him again. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge Sid fan. I saw his ECW where he was going like this. That's what he did in ECW because everybody chanted for Sid. Sid was huge there. The only thing they could have done better is have the judge come out with a stretcher. I would have loved that. And if he would have done that, yeah, the chance of Sid would have been pretty much deafening. But the thing is he's even the latest one of the latest ones, a promoter called him up and had the fans boo him and then gave out his number. Now you have to fuck somebody over some kind of special to get that to happen. Now, I know Rebecca Sky is wondering why Sunny was doing well. He's a legend, which I agree with Rebecca Sky. That don't mean two shits. That and 250 will get you a cup of coffee. Being a legend in something doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're a little bit better known than the rest of the people. That's all that means. And because you're better known, when you go out in the independents for wrestling, you can command a better price. However, that also hinges on you keeping your promise. And Tammy Cinch, Sunny is no better than Sid. This is what Rebecca Sky, I don't know, maybe she doesn't keep up with this, doesn't remember. Sunny has had several things that she's supposed to have been going with, and I can't remember the promotion company, but they've taken chances on her several times and just said no, because yet again she showed several dates already this year that they're not working with her anymore. So why is it surprising to people that Sunny is defending Sid? She has no choice. She is just as guilty as he is. It would be rather hypocritical of her to take Rebecca Sky's side and say, oh yeah, I understand that, he's doing this and he's doing that. Well then, the very first post on her page would be, yeah, you do it too, or did you forget? So she really couldn't say anything. And again, as with Sid, I enjoyed Sunny when I watched her. I loved her and, I'm trying to think of what Chris Candido's name was, Skip, I believe, in the Body Donnas. I liked her with LOD 2000. Not so much a fan of her work with the Divas, but that had nothing against her. She had a lot of charisma. She was very fun to watch. It's just I don't think they ever knew what to do with the women at that point. So they had their moments of good stuff, but there was a lot of confusing stuff in the women's division. There still is. But I do consider Sunny a legend as well, because she was one of the big women who really kept the women in wrestling relevant. When there was almost no women there, she came in and she said, okay, take notice of me. I'm going to show you what I can do. And that is not easy, so applause to her for that. But like Sid, she has had health issues, though she refuses to really say half the time what they are. And now I'm not going to say that when I go over and do dishes, that if I have a, kidney stone or something like that, I'm going to be happily doing my job. No, I'm not. But a lot of times we hear that and we don't hear what the situation is. So we have kind of a problem saying, well, okay, we'll buy if you have these problems, but at least be nice to know what it is. I mean, Christ, how many people in WWE are taking photos of stuff, giving you updates on Ted DiBiase is a good one. Ted DiBiase Jr. is telling people regularly how he's doing with rehab. People do that unless you're a legend, I guess. So I don't get it. I mean, being a legend is one thing, but that also means people expect you to be a little more open. So, but yeah, I mean, I respect Sid, I respect Sunny, but Rebecca Sky, I would not be in any way, shape, or form surprised by Sunny. I wouldn't even. I mean, I know I'm not Rebecca. I'm not in the business. I don't know how she feels, but I wouldn't be too upset with Sunny. Be upset with Sid if you want to, but I wouldn't be too upset with Sunny. Sunny can still be a good person. It's just that she was in between a rock and a hard place. She couldn't condemn Sid for what she herself has been doing. It wouldn't make sense. She had to stand up with him. She did it wrong, but she had to be in support of him because she was engaged in the same behavior herself. If she didn't, somebody would call her on it. So that's just my thoughts. Again, I'm a little nobody. I do dishes at a place that doesn't even hold 40 people. But I've also been wrestling a long time. I'm a great fan of both Sid and Sunny. And I've been to indie events where there have been bigger name people. When not long after Matt Bourne quit as Doink the Clown, I believe it was PWI. There's a little wrestling promotion around Minnesota that Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff has always been involved with, and Sheik Adnan El-Kaisi was involved at the time. I think even Wendy Richter was. This is back in the 90s. And they said Doink the Clown was going to be coming. Well, I knew it wasn't the good Doink because he was still on TV, and I liked the evil one because I thought he was a great wrestler. He was a great promo person. And it was like $10. You come on over and you can get an autograph. Oh, okay. But he never showed up, and I never did find out why. Now, it could have just been it was some guy in a Doink costume that, the costume didn't come back from the cleaners or something. I highly doubt it was Matt Bourne. But the thing is, I know what it is. I know how it kind of irks you when you go for something and that something isn't there. I mean, yeah, I supposedly remember Rock and Roll Buck Zumhoff. It was the whole reason my mom and dad got me a Ghetto Blaster, was because I liked his character, and my guess is I probably liked the tape deck. I was an electrical nut even then. And Sheik Adnan El-Kaisi, I remember him very well. But it wasn't because of those two I went. I wanted to see the current person. In this case, with Legends, you're probably getting a lot of adults, WWE, WCW, ECW fans for Sid saying, yeah, he was the man. He was a legitimate threat. You need to see this guy, outside of the tapes. And I'll say this, Sid still looked to be in great condition. He wasn't as muscular, but he was still, he wasn't overweight. He seemed to be walking okay, which is always a blessing, especially considering what he did to his leg. So it was nice to see that he's still around and he's still in fairly good health. But, yeah, did he deserve the payday? He was a big person back in Raw. Probably bigger than Vader, even, I would suggest. But I don't know. I may have had him come on for a segment. I don't know that I would have had him wrestle because I think it's a bigger payday if you wrestle. And I mean, Sid is notorious for not showing up. So yeah, if it's a one-time thing, good for him. But if they try and make it a long-time thing, aside from maybe coming back for the 1000th Raw, hey hell, it's gonna go 3 hours. You might as well bring people back. I just don't know. What are your thoughts on it? I mean, like I said, I haven't been able to go to a wrestling thing in a very long time. But I just think, you know, have your opinions, but don't be surprised if the legends stick together, because that's what legends do. I'm not saying it's right. I don't think it's right, but they do. And if they do, they're not going to change their behavior. So just love them when you see them and let them do their thing when they're not. Just don't be too mad when the thing they've been doing happens to you.